Well, this is video 91 and it's the summer of 1721. We're still trying to get our Mexicans into Guatemala before the Spanish get there. We've been replenishing these troops as they march, as you can see. Just click on them and then click the little man with the cross there on the right, and that replenishes the troops. It's always worth checking the ministers, see if you can improve them a bit. See if you can get somebody that will give you pluses instead of zeros. I tend to sort of whack through them and look to see if there's a zero next to next to their names. So back over into Europe now. If you remember, we've fought off the Württembergers. They'll be now restoring the numbers of their troops, and we've got a limited number over there anyway, so I'm going to replenish those troops as well, which is what I've just done there. Feeling a bit more confident now about repairing this building in France. I've left it until quite late in the day because I thought it was vulnerable to attack from the enemy, so I'm feeling a bit more safe now with my own troops so far down and still unthreatened. So the idea is to join these troops up with the ones from Marseille. If you remember, when I first took France, I put troops into Marseille because it's a large port and enabled me to trade with more people. I know I'm relying on Savoy not attacking me from over in the southeast there, but of France. But it's more likely that Spain are going to attack me, and it's like anything else, you go on heightened probabilities. The chance of being attacked from Spain is very much higher, and as you know, the army's already popped out of Spain and then popped back again, gone straight back. Now that's the army that I'm after. I'm seeking advantages at each opportunity, so I'm going behind bridges as I move along in the hope that he'll attack me at a strategic advantage to myself. Now, Ceylon, as you remember from the last turn end, we were attacked by a large Maratha force. We were able to repel them, and they took significant losses. If you remember the elephants, just a couple of them got away. We tried to do our best finishing off the artillery by sending our infantry out, because we hadn't set a game length, if you remember. That's what's left. So I'm just auto-resolving that. You've seen a very, very large battle against the Marathas recently. Well, not so much a large battle, but certainly a very, very long one. So I'm just going to polish those off, get them out of the way. It's a lot of work forming up an army just to attack one artillery piece or just a few units. So just auto-resolving those. A bit lazy, I suppose, really. I should fight them and keep the number of my casualties down as low as possible, really, but it's got a good mix of troops, so I'm bound to lose some men anyway. I left one of my men behind. These are the sepoys, the not quite so good infantry, so I'll put those in the port. If you remember, I tend to put small amounts of troops in ports. They're not normally attacked in ports. As I've said before, they're really just there to prevent a landing directly in a port area. Okay, bring the better ones out, put them in there, have a quick look round, see what everything else is doing. Okay, enough money left over to get some more recruits in the area. There isn't going to be time, I don't think, to construct that fort in the Guatemala area. The Spanish troops are bearing down on us a bit quicker than we'd hoped. Notice the British there got large numbers of infantry there on their ship. I wonder where they're bound for. I suspect, and indeed, history shows that they're more likely to go for the Americas than anywhere else. So, mind you, they did raid France, if you remember. They just couldn't hold Paris for very long. It'll be interesting to see where they go. Oh, here they come now, the Spanish. The idea of my army build-up here originally was to move down to Andalusia, because that's one of my objectives, of course. Okay, I can't afford to build that government building there, I don't think. There's a risk as well, if I start building that, it's going to cost me money, and he could take the place as well, so I don't have a great deal of troops there. There was a Maratha fleet with some troops on it some time ago. I don't know, it was last turn that I saw quickly disappear off the map, and I'm wondering where they're going to come. So it's unlikely that they'll land in Europe. If they do, then it'll be the southern part of Europe, of course, and there's plenty of time for me to see them before they start arriving. But a more vulnerable place is the Americas, so I need to sort of keep a watch out for that fleet arriving over there. Now here, back in Europe again, if you remember, we're moving down to Madrid now. We joined our forces together from Marseille and those reinforcements from Paris. We've been hiding behind bridges up until now, so we're going to see what he's got. I'm standing far enough back from Madrid, so if an army does come out to fight me, he won't be reinforced by the troops from Madrid, so he'd be fighting me with just the force he came out on, with no reinforcement. You see, everywhere else I can see, I can see around the coastline, by the way, because I have trade routes, so you can see within a certain distance of all your trade routes. I'll just put these troops back in here. Doesn't look like he's got anything in Madrid that he can attack me with. I've had a look round, and the Marathas don't seem to have anything threatening me at the moment in Ceylon, so I sort of put off replenishing these troops because obviously they'll cost more money, so if I don't need them yet, I'll wait until the time that I do. That's my income for next turn. I'm just working out, you know, if I up the taxes, you see, in this theatre, there's only Ceylon in this theatre. I don't like doing it because tax burdens do mount up. Also, you don't get any growth in the area, population growth, which means that your buildings and general development in the place is reduced. Quick look down all the different regions just to see if we've got any red regions in there. And again, play around with the taxes, see if we can raise a little bit more money. Things are still quite tight. We're not a wealthy nation. We've only just settled France. We are taking some money from them, but Guatemala and Mexico are not bad, but not brilliant. And it has taken us a long time to settle these places and start getting some half-decent taxes from them. Of course, we've needed large armies to have and hold them, so it's all going out on the military force at the moment. Now, Spanish army coming up on the eastern side there. What am I talking about? On the western side, approaching the western side of France. Looks like he's making a play for either coming round the back of my army or perhaps even going to Paris. These are the Spanish at Guatemala, and this is the attack that we'd been suspecting for some time. This is the formal for my troops. I'm not showing you how I've lined them up, but what you will notice is that that each of these units here has chevaux de frise in front of them. I've noticed he's got a lot of cavalry in this army. He's got a lot of combat troops as well, so this is going to be a very physical close-up battle, with cavalry swanning around all over the place and tomahawk Indians charging at me. And if you remember one of the very early battles, going all the way back, goodness knows how many videos now, 70 or 80 videos, these tomahawk infantry do come piling in, usually into your weakest unit right in the centre. As an addition to that mix, he's got musket armed Indians as well, which have special characteristics. They can fight fairly well, but also they have a longer range. So while his close combat troops are running in, he's got his musket men standing back, firing at a longer distance from which you can fire. So it is a bit of a technological nightmare, this one. Is that the right word? Technological, tactical nightmare. I've put my firelock armed citizenry inside the buildings in the town and drawn up my troops in line outside the town, so he's disorganised from having fought the firelock armed citizenry, and then he's got to fight through my organised troops in line afterwards, with the chevaux de frise protecting their front. The rest of the battle will be on the next video.